My name is Matt Lawn. I am a neonatologist at the University of North Carolina, and I am the PI for a few of the trials in the Pediatric Trials Network. The second study is a study of sildenafil, which is also called Viagra or Revatio. So I get a lot of emails in my junk mail about Viagra. And so, but that's not for that purpose. It's actually used in adults to improve blood flow to the lungs. And so that it's a problem in adults called pulmonary hypertension, so high blood pressure of the lungs. And so we know that in babies, in premature babies in particular, they often have what's called bronchopulmonary dysplasia, or chronic lung disease of prematurity. They're born early, their lungs are developing after birth. And the things that we do as neonatologists to keep these babies alive also cause damage to their lungs. And so by putting them on the breathing machine and giving them oxygen, it scars their lungs and they have trouble breathing. Frequently they'll be on oxygen for a prolonged period of time. And when they're on oxygen at 36 weeks adjusted age, so if they were born at 24 weeks, 12 weeks later, they have what we call bronchopulmonary dysplasia. And about half of those babies also develop high blood pressure in their lungs as well. It's a very different mechanism from adults. And what's been happening over the last really 10 years or so is that neonatologists are clinically starting to use sildenafil to treat this high blood pressure in these babies' lungs. And we have no idea what the right dose is. We don't know how often we're supposed to be giving it. We don't know for how long we're supposed to give it. We don't know what markers we should use to see if the medication's working. And we don't even know if it works. We just know that people are starting to use it. So it's really important to make sure that that we find out all those things. You know, does it work? What are the right doses? What are the things we need to look for to make sure that it's safe? And these are the things that we'll be doing over the next 12 months, 18 months. And so where we are right now is that we've gotten the investigational new drug from the FDA for sildenafil. We've gotten the buy-in from the FDA as far as the study design goes, and we are working with the PTN to get the budget in place and get the Data Safety and Monitoring Board on board as well, and get their input. And then also we're looking for sites to enroll. We have a few sites identified, but we're looking for a few more. So I expect that we'll, if everything goes well, we'll probably have first patient enrolled hopefully in January. The Pediatric Trials Network really will and has already revolutionized medication use in neonatology. Because we often use medications in our field, about 90% of the medications are off-label use. So that means that there's not an FDA indication for either the dose or the duration or the frequency, or efficacy has not been established. And the Pediatric Trials Network, through the BPCA, Best Pharmaceutical for Children's Act, really will fill the gap of these medicines in these very extremely vulnerable children. We've got infants in our unit right now between 500 grams, which is about a loaf of bread, all the way up to 5 kilograms, which is 10 times as much. And they're both babies, but there's a 10 times difference between the two of them. And just giving them a 10 times difference in medication is not the answer. We know that the development of their lungs and their liver and their kidneys is very different between a baby born at 24 weeks, which is very early, versus a baby born at full term, which is at 40 weeks.